So as we mentioned kind of before the call, within my kind of interviews, is that there are kind of two general questions that I ask everyone. And in some ways, I think this is the most valuable piece of content because it's a way that people get a lot of value very quickly. And the first is, what is the best piece of advice you've ever had?
I could cite a lot of stuff right now, but let me select one immediately. I would say probably, and this is because I had on my podcast a conversation about it yesterday as well, pretty extensive. Is as an entrepreneur, I think if I would ever write a book of how to be successful as an entrepreneur, or at least not to fail, is the first chapter would be about taking care of yourself.
Okay, interesting.
It would be it's something that first time entrepreneurs, or when you just start, is very hard, because you're not in it for long, you're super excited, and you tend to completely overwork yourself and ignore everything else. At least that was my experience. um, it starts with properly sleeping, really building up rules around that, and making sure that your sleep is wholly. Make sure that I mean, it defines so much of your day. If you had a bad night's sleep, the day is shit. um, and then a few other things. Yeah, eating properly, doing some physical exercise. It can help a lot to feel better and to properly treat your body. It's organizing yourself in such a way that you know your priorities for the day, you know priorities for the week, you know priorities for the month, perhaps. It's in these small things, because entrepreneurship is a long journey, and you going through it in the most chaotic, unhealthy way
Yeah.
will not work, and also even it will be very hard to grow your business.
One
um,
of my previous guests, a guy called Matt that runs a media company in a place called Middlesbrough in the UK,
mhm,
he said the same thing. And it was all to do with why, because, we probably expect to be in business for 20 years or more. Don't treat it like a sprint, treat it like a marathon. Pace yourself, sleep. So for instance, I go to bed before 9 o'clock every day, get some proper rest in. I try and fit exercise in when I can. And then you balance between when you've got big projects you're trying to get out, I might focus more on the business.
mhm.
But then actually, if you get a bit of breathing time, then work on fitness, but just to, consciously get the rest in, get the sleep in, and just try and maintain a high level.
Definitely.
And the next question I was going to ask, and actually it's been really interesting to kind of hear your story, is that if you were to give advice to your younger self, and it can be any age, any point in your life or career, what would it be?
um, I think I would go for taking it even slower. I mean, it sort of aligns with what I just said. But in entrepreneurial journey, we often get very nervous about going too slow because you see competitors going really fast and they're adding stuff, and the business is like the money is going to be finished, and there's all kinds of stuff, lots of pressure on you. um, what is most dangerous is that you take uh, decisions too quickly, or you make things evolve too quickly, and it makes that either there's a lot that you need to do to undo it, or because you make a jump too quickly, it makes it harder to learn how to do it better. One of these possibilities is hiring someone too soon for a certain job. If you don't know yet what you're gonna do there, and you just hire someone and say figure it out, that's not how entrepreneurship works.
Mm-hmm.
An entrepreneur always needs to find out at least the basics of how they think it should work, and then hire someone to do it better than they could possibly do it. But you cannot hire someone to figure out the business for you.
Got you.
It just doesn't work that way.